Hello, on behalf of WaterAid India and the Telangana State Innovation Cell, supported by the Government of Telangana and the United Nations Population Fund UNFPA, we are delighted to invite you to submit applications for the Hackathon 2022 called the Innovate for Menstrual Waste. Let's tell you a little bit about the hackathon and why we are focusing on this particular problem of menstrual waste in Telangana. Now, menstrual waste comprises of waste that is generated as a result of using certain types of products that absorb or collect menstrual blood, namely sanitary pads as well as cloth. Now, in Telangana, as per the census data, we estimate that there are about 3 million young women between 15 to 24 years in the state who are likely to use sanitary pads. Now, the National Family Health Survey 5 that was conducted in 2019-2020 estimate that 92% of young women 15 to 24 years use sanitary pads. So we estimate that about 2.8 million young women are using these products. And if they use an estimated 8 sanitary pads every month, we're looking at 22 million sanitary pads that are generated and discarded, and that adds up to 246 million sanitary pads per year that have been used and thrown. So why are we so concerned about sanitary pads? One is that sanitary pads are made of the cellulosic material in the middle, but it's covered in plastic, and the plastic makes these pads very difficult to dispose of. When pads are thrown in the open, they land up in landfills. They can take hundreds of years to break down and to decompose, which means that they're lying in the environment for a very, very long period of time. Now, what do we know about where pads are how they are being discarded? Now, research suggests that in India, sometimes pads are thrown with the regular household waste or waste in schools. Oftentimes, they are thrown out in open lands, open fields. Sometimes they're buried, and sometimes they're also burned in the open. And these days we see that several schools and colleges may have incinerator machines installed where pads can also be burned. Now, why is this a concern for us? Now, when pads are discarded inappropriately, which means they're discarded unsafely, they're thrown in the toilet, thrown in the open, discarded in water bodies, burned in the open, or in poor incinerators, it has a negative impact on human health because we may breathe in toxic fumes. It also pollutes the land and the soil where we may be growing fruits and vegetables. It is toxic for animals and fish that live in the water bodies that we're throwing it in. But it's also harmful for sanitation workers and waste workers that are coming in contact with this waste, as well as the sewage and drainage facilities in the city. This is the problem that WaterAid India and the Telangana State Innovation Cell hope to address through the hackathon Innovate for Menstrual Waste. With the support of the Government of Telangana and UNFPA, we are calling today for applications for solutions to address the issue of menstrual waste. Now, who all can apply for this hackathon? We actively encourage college students, high school students, working professionals, homemakers, self-help groups, innovators from all backgrounds, as well as NGOs to submit applications for this hackathon. Now we want to tell you a little bit about the types of solutions that we're looking for through this hackathon, Innovate for Menstrual Waste. We have 3 broad buckets. The first is looking at technology solutions that help promote efficient and environmentally safe solutions for menstrual waste management. And we have a preference for non-burn or non-incinerator based solutions. The second bucket of solutions are product solutions. So we're looking for menstrual products that girls and women can use that reduce the volume of waste generated. So this could be different types of cloth pads, menstrual cups, and other such type of solutions. The third bucket of solutions are systems and processes for safe and effective menstrual waste management. We have 2 subparts to this. One is to look at it from the user perspective. So how can users engage in safe disposal and waste segregation of menstrual waste at a household level, in educational institutions, at work sites, public and community toilets? And the second subpart is how can we promote safe collection, segregation, transportation of menstrual waste for final treatment by waste collectors, sanitation workers, rag pickers through support of gram panchayats and urban local bodies. Now, we have a note here that any awareness generation activity, information, education, communication, or behavior change communication should be an essential component of these three buckets of solutions to ensure understanding and uptake of technology, product, and or process solutions. Next, we want to tell you about the participation criteria in the Innovate for Menstrual Waste Hackathon. You can join as an individual or as a team comprising of between 1 to 3 people. Your team should have at least one woman participant. And the hackathon is free for all. There is no registration fee to be a part of this hackathon event. We encourage adolescent girls between 11 to 18 studying in schools and in colleges, as well as women, to share solutions from the user perspective. So how can users engage in safer handling and safer disposal of menstrual waste at a household level, as well as in educational institutions and in work sites? A note that we want to have when you're looking at menstrual waste solutions is to go back to the legal framework for menstrual waste solutions in India. Now, menstrual waste, as we mentioned before, refers to blood as well as any material, sanitary pad or cloth or anything else that is used to absorb or collect that blood. Second is that the Government of India, through their solid waste management rules of 2016, consider menstrual waste as solid waste and define it as sanitary waste. And they also have several specifications for the roles and responsibilities of waste generators, as well as the producers or manufacturers of sanitary napkins, as well as local authorities at a village and at a city level. When we are looking at safe management of waste, we look at it as a series of steps that go right from immediate disposal to treatment of used materials in a way that does not cause harm to individuals, to human life, and also does not cause harm to the environment in terms of land, air, and water pollution. For school students who are submitting applications, you can WhatsApp a 3-minute video presentation of your solution with your name, your school's name, district name details, and your solution details to the WhatsApp number that's shown on the screen. College student teams should submit their solution in a poster format or in a PowerPoint presentation format, along with a 3-minute video presentation to their respective institutions that are hosting the hackathon. And teams of working professionals, innovators, homemakers are required to submit the solution as a poster format or as a PowerPoint presentation format, along with a 3-minute video presentation. So for colleges and other professionals and homemakers, we request you to, in addition to your video, to also submit a poster or a PowerPoint presentation. The assessment criteria for the Innovate for Menstrual Waste Hackathon will be based on innovation. So how novel, how innovative is your solution, the impact that the solution can have to reduce and to address the issue of menstrual waste, the feasibility of this solution to be replicated and to be implemented, your presentation style, as well as your passion for this particular project. A little bit about the awards that we have to offer. The top 3 student teams will receive a paid fellowship and mentoring from WaterAid India, and other winning solutions and innovations from other categories. Participants will be rewarded with prize money as well as mentorship opportunities with the Telangana State Innovation Cell. With this, we thank you and we encourage you to apply for the Innovate for Menstrual Waste Hackathon 2022. We look forward to receiving your application.